about to open this and I remembered I was going to film this. This is his lordship buddy. So unfortunately life took a bit of a shitty turn following some stuff in 2020, and I've needed to get a mobility scooter because I'm struggling to walk. I've developed neurological problems and really bad pain, muscle pain, etc. So I'm hoping, this is supposed to be all assembled, so I'm hoping when we pop this open, all I'm going to have to do is move the handlebars, but we shall see. I've got no strength, and that's why I need... What are you doing? Sorry, I had to use both hands to do that because I needed one hand to hold myself up and the other hand to get a good purchase on it, and I couldn't hold the camera. That's kind of why I've chosen to do this, because it's so hard to stand just for short periods of time that even walking, always safety first, make sure your blade is retracted. Ooh, flaps. Let's open these big bad brown. Comes in a box. Nice. Right, what we got in here? A weirdo. So, which has a metal frame around it. That's really cool. Buddy down. What we got here? 2 bits of something. Should we guess what they are? End guards. Stop the wind on your knuckles. We'll guess. We'll find out. Can't do much, so I do what I can when I can. This is, interestingly, this is screwed down, so I'm going to need a screwdriver to undo that. So I'll be back in a minute. So I've removed the metal bar that ran from there to here and across to the other side. It wasn't a screw. I don't know why I thought it was a screwdriver. It was actually a crosshead. Shit Christ, I can't speak. Sorry. A nut and bolt. And it was screwed into this hole here, which I'm assuming is going to be the steering column, the top of. So steering column, I hear you say? What's under here? Something that I thought that was going to be fully constructed that looks like I'm going to have to build. Shit is a bit of a concern. I've got to be honest. We'll get back to this. Is that a chip on the paint? Yeah, minor chip on the paint. Welcome to China. There's the electronic doofer. Here's the handlebar set. A little bit of construction, and it looks like the tyres are inflated but not attached. But it's a good chance for me to, I guess, find out how to put shit together. Yeah, there's definitely no tyres on the front, but there are tyres on the rear. That's okay. That's cool. We can live with that. I'll get it out of this box. It's going to take me a while. Speak to you soon. So the story so far is I've taken the metal frame off. I've loosely fitted that with the 4 screws that are in the back the other way around. But this way they did up really quickly by the brake light. These, I keep saying screws, they're nuts. As you can see, everything's looking quite nice. I've actually put them in the other way around to how they came, because they just wouldn't do up. Really couple of difficult metal clips that attach the quad to the metal frame. On the front, these were just finger tight, easy to get off. And then I noticed obviously the steering arms have not been connected. I know they go there, but I don't know how. Still not found the instructions. Found an ignition key here. Found an ignition key over on the dash somewhere as well. I'm sure the seat will come up. Not worked out how to do it. There's a big battery. And then lo and behold, on the other side, there's a cardboard box. That could be instructions. There I get excited. Oh, and definitely check all the nuts and bolts before you go anywhere on this thing. I'm disabled and I'm really struggling. I've been here for about an hour, but I used to be strong and fit, and I am having a bit of a problem with this, even getting out of the box. Don't know how I'm going to pump the tyres up, because every single tyre is flat, and I've only got a foot pump. The guy lives behind me does fit tyres, and he used to race quad bikes, so he might be quite useful to give a shout to in a little bit. Oh, that's up. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. Almost opened this, almost. I got that far, and I remembered, if you're going to do an unboxing video, Isn't that right, bud? If you can do an unboxing video, do an unboxing video with the dog's head in the way. What we got in here? Hopefully a charger, and I can plug it in and start charging. Oh, we've got a little soap bag shaving kit, and somehow I think that might be a tool kit. Buddy, move. Tool. Ooh, what's all this? Good boy. Oh, we've got reflectors. We've got, oh my god, fuses by the looks of things. Big rubber knobs. Keys. We've got pins, spanners, and then in here, indicators, possibly for tyres and wheels. And a charger. And that is incredible, the towing knob. That is proper weighty. Owner's manual. I guess we better go and have a look. And then some other bits. The electric ATV. Don't think it's the 3000. Shaft. 1000 watt, 2000 watt, 3000 watt, 5000 watt. Well, it's one of those. Transmission. We'll soon find out. I actually can't remember what I brought, but it's the mobility version, so it's for idiots like me. We'll go in, buddy. We'll go and take some medication because I'm in agony. So, I had problems getting the quad off, and that's because these two bits of metal stick in between the suspension arms, so it's really hard to lift off. So I ended up bending this back because you can't unscrew this one because I can't see any visible screws. The rest of the frame is amazing. Sorry to stay at the garage. Loosely put on the back wheels, attached the rear indicators like that. When you tighten these up, as you tighten it up, the indicator will start to turn upwards, and on the other side, as you tighten it up, it will turn downwards. So just bear that in mind when you're doing it. I believe that's where that goes, the little reflector, little nut and bolt on the back, but there was two little marks either side which looked like they do something, but I couldn't tell you what. Found the catch for the seat, which is this brass fella there. That's the catch for the seat, not much underneath. This thing is awesome, weighs a ton. Best bit on there, big nut on the bottom, job done. Obviously, I'm saving all the plastic for you guys when I'm ready. And I was going to do a nice ASMR of taking all the shiny plastic off of reflectors, lights, and mud guards, etc. But do you know what? I was at the pub, and I was sitting there having a pint of beer and a smoke outside, and I pulled all the stuff off, and it was lovely. It was very satisfying. Sorry I didn't share it. Need to get air in the tyres, as you can see. Extremely loosely fit at the moment. Looking at the handlebars and the electronic bit, I found the bracket for the handlebars, which I thought was these, and I'm thinking that can't be right. They're absolute dog shit, which is what we're looking for. So we're going to put those on, which will help me move it a bit easier. Then I can put the front wheels on and get this pallet out the way. But the charger still has a little green light, and hopefully we'll get back to it. It's been on charge all night. I stuck it in there. It's 3 pins with 1 pin going west, 1 north, and 1 south. North, south, west. And it's got the little swingy cap thing here that swings over. Chinese prawn crackers, but it's not. I'm assuming the big bags, the battery, I was hoping it was going to be full of small Vietnamese child in there. So the steering arms are here. I'm not going to lie, I don't know how to put these on. I believe I undo that, and I believe that goes underneath that. Nipples. I didn't put that on. I've just done the nuts up, and I hadn't put that on. You'll be pleased to know I found my socket set as well. So, yeah, so I've got to take the wheels off. The threads are a bit tough going, some of them, and that's obviously just where there's paint on the inside of the thread. I was worried I was cross-threading, but apparently not. All the pictures showed the wheels as silver. I am so happy they're black. I really am. They just look awesome. Anyway, nipples. New tool alert. So just looking at the front steering arm, just bolted that on with the little washer between the nut. There's a little washer there, and then in the little toolkit is these split pins. So I've bashed it through. A hammer would be useful. And then I guess we just bend them. But look, I've done it the wrong way. I need to turn it on its side. So I think rather than that being vertical, that needs to twist over a bit. So that might be a lesson learned. So I'll get some pliers, I think. So we've got a damaged piece here that I'm going to have to bend. I know exactly how this got damaged. I'm assuming I did that. This has all been entertaining. The nipples on the front are brilliant. The nipples on the back aren't. And as you can see by that daylight, the wheels are not on tight. This is still flimsy. I put these on, the windy hand guards. They're different on each side. That can't be helped. They just are different. The brackets went on different places. One is slightly different to the other side. I don't know what the difference is. I really don't. I ain't got a clue. I don't know what I'm doing. I've just put them on. I think I'm going to move this bracket because it doesn't sit. It don't sit the same, does it? It don't sit the same. It looks terrible. But so far, I'm pleased with it. I could have done without having to do all this putting it together. It's killed me. My hands are absolutely destroyed. And I'm a bit weak and feeble. Nipples. Sorted that. Bit of cardboard over it. Pliers. Job done. So, the nipples on the back tyres just will not stay on. I cannot get them to stay on. I loosened the nuts off, placed the nipples in position, tightened the nuts back up, but they just drop straight back out. So I need to find a fix for that. I was going to do first impressions. I'm on it, and first impressions and what I think of it. Well, I can't really do that now because clearly the scooter's been used. Something else I wanted to show you. When you turn the ignition on, it's here, and you've got your key down here, which is your speed control. Now, I only know this because I had some difficulties. I'd put the thing together and I criticised and said it didn't have an instruction manual that was any good. Well, it does, and it did, and I did have it. I just didn't think to check my emails and read the instruction manuals. I put everything together my way. I will review the instruction manuals. So everything that's shown on this video, you might as well just throw in the bin. But when I came to start it, fully charged, I couldn't get it to start. And then they kindly reminded me of this switch here. That has to be turned on to charge it, and it has to be turned on to run the vehicle. The cool thing is when you start the ignition key, I nearly said something in Welsh then, there, when your dash first comes up, it shows you panic. They say it's about 90% charged when you get it. Now it's 17.9 miles. Is that great? I think it actually is, considering the steering arms were out of whack and I was running a very odd setup track, is it? Alignment. So things were not good in that respect. So I really, it's probably burnt more energy than it needed. I did actually run out of battery yesterday, and it gives like this intermittent spitter and spatter, and I was out in the wet and I was concerned it was the rain. I was thinking it can't be, because it wasn't raining, it was that fine rain that soaks you through, as Peter Kay would say. So, but it finally got me home just about. I will say this much, this little thing has tackled some of the roughest terrain that I wanted it to manage, so I could take Buddy, who's sitting behind me patiently. Where is he? There he is. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, it's doing the bridle paths, and we're talking loose rock, mud, everything. Just got to be a bit mindful of how you approach things, like you would on any quad. If you're going to be off-road, plan your route. I know it sounds really silly and very boring of me to say that, but plan your route. I have bottomed it out twice because I didn't plan my route properly. I did that route again and didn't bottom out once. So it was just careless by me. This thing has been hit with sheep shit, cow shit, horse shit. Done it all really well, copes really well. Now, I know some people are going to laugh when I show them this, and it is a mobility scooter, But I brought myself a helmet, and do you know what? I'm really glad I have, because I'm not able to go fast. I know that now. And if I fall off, I'm probably not going to be able to stop myself from bashing my head on the ground. So helmet, goggles, balaclava and gloves, 40 quid off of Amazon. Well worth spent, especially when you're out on the road, or off-road I should say. You know, pottering around at 3 miles an hour, you feel really silly, but at the same time, his lordship here likes to jump up into my lap. He gets up, sits in my lap, and likes to go fast and sniff the air. So on reflection, what do I think of the quad? Well, I've gone over it, nuts and bolts, checked all of them, Allen keys, etc. Had to tighten my hand wind guards, etc. I hadn't done a very good job of those. I repositioned the brackets on those to be more aligned. Sorry, my hand's shaking. And also, I added these. £18 off of Amazon, universal motorbike rear view mirrors. On reflection, pun intended, I'm so glad I got those. Because of my illness, it's very hard for me to do the lifesaver check, you know, the look over your shoulder thing. I really didn't have good vision. My hearing's not great. And unless I drive around with my mouth open, I can't hear. That's just the way my ears are. So, it's just bollocks. I've not been a well man, and this has changed my life. And what's been really cool is everyone that knows me, that's seen it, is so surprised that it's a mobility scooter. They just thought it was a quad bike, and then they were surprised that it was electric, and then they were really surprised it was a mobility scooter. I believe in theory I can take it into supermarkets, but I don't think they'd want it in there with all the sheep shit all over it. Anyway, we're going to go for a little ride now. I'm going to shoot up to my local shop, which is, he does love to jump up on the lap, and then if he sees something of interest, I drop him off and he goes for a sniff, and then he comes back and off we go again. So I am designing a trailer to go on the back out of an old wheelbarrow, and I will do an update on that, courtesy of a friend that's going to help me, which I'm going to line with some old tractor tyres. But that's it. I've waffled on for ages. I'm going to edit all this so it's more manageable to listen to, and hopefully it will be entertaining. I call this my Inco mentalist. The guys, when I phoned them, have just been nothing but wonderful. They've been superb. They really have. They've been considerate, mindful, understanding, gave me loads of advice, and they actually laughed that I put it together blind. They thought initially that I was going to buy it built, and when I suggested that I was going to design and build my own trike in the coming years, they thought when I ordered it without it being constructed, that was because I wanted the challenge of doing it. God love them. So, you know, they really sort of just went with the fact I'm trying to be independent, and I love that. It was hard work for me, but it wouldn't be for anyone else that knows what they're doing mechanically and whose hands work properly and brain works properly. But that's it. Big thanks to Duncan and Steve. If you're buying electric quads just for fun, don't buy the mobility scooter. Buy one of their better ones. It'll be worth it, because this little thing is amazing. I am so happy, so grateful. I know time will tell. Hopefully the battery will be great. I will look at upgrading the battery at some point. Eventually, I would be tempted to upgrade to 4 independent motored hubs, but we'll see. I'm probably going to focus on building designing what I would like to build and make. So that's it. I'll take a pretty photograph for the card of the video, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best. ECORIDER. What can it do? Can it do hills like this with a surface that's rubbly and rough and steep? From a standing start? Well, the answer is yes. It can do it. It's bumpy. I'm going slow because I'm holding with one hand, which is not advisable. But as you can see, this is not a smooth track. But even slow, my little ECORIDER, or the Eco Mentalist, can handle it. Although I just got stuck there with a little bit of wheel spin. But with a bit of careful planning, you can make anything, and the dog loves it. Walk on. Good morning, everybody. So this is now day 8 of owning the little Eco Mentalist, as I like to call it, my ECORIDER. And I've brought the dog out, who's legging it across that field like a maniac. Just wanted to do a quick review of where I'm at with it after a week. This is straight off the cuff. I have considered it all week, what I thought about this. So just 0 to 10, we'll go with that idea. How do I, this is a really boring gate, but life's full of gates. Some are locked, some are open, and my little ECORIDER Eco Mentalist has certainly opened a gate for me. Let me just restart us, how many miles I've done in that week. So 43.1 miles. We're on a full charge at the moment. Charged it up overnight. Charging's fine, it's great, no problem at all, completely manageable. I think the most I've done is 19 miles on a single charge, but when you look at what I'm surrounded by, I live in the bottom of this valley somewhere along here, and I'm surrounded by hills and and dirt tracks. I just went up this one, but unfortunately the gate was shut, and I'm not well enough to really start opening farmers' gates, and I don't wish to disturb these cows. Getting to the point, out of 10. So, package, delivery. The delivery was 1 day later than I was told on the phone. That's not a problem. So, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 for delivery. That's not being harsh, it's just that I also thought it was coming fully built, but it didn't. But as I mentioned in the video, that was entirely my fault and not their fault. So, but the 7 out of 10, just because it was a day late, that's all. Just, it's a shame when subcontractors don't keep the promises that the salespeople do. The company, I would say, again, I'm going to give them 8 out of 10. The guys have been fantastic. Steve and Duncan, 10 out of 10, really. The fact that they thought I wanted it sent unassembled, you know, whilst that was my mistake, the fact they actually sent it that way because they thought I might want the challenge and they thought I was mechanically minded, I can't fault them for that. They actually, you know, are assuming that I would like some independence in my life, and God love them for that. So yeah, no problem with that. The only thing is I never did receive any instructions. I did send an email on Sunday, which they should have got Monday, and I've heard nothing from them. So I will phone them on Monday, because it may be they don't check their emails often enough. I can't criticise anyone for that. I really can't. If most of their business is done online and on the phone, they may not be checking that info email to that website, which is a shame for them because they might be losing business that way. Just give you a little guided tour of the beast. So, as you can see, she's been well used. So what's it like to use? Well, out of 10, it's achieved everything I wanted. So 10. The tyres, nah. There was a lot of wear on the front, as you can see. I'm assuming because I have to use it on asphalt, or they're just cheap Chinese tyres. We'll see. Bodywork, nice and flexy. It's taken quite pounding. Lots of mud underneath. Indicators stood up fine. Nothing I bolted on's come undone. Sorry, that's a poo bag hanging on the back of the trailer hitch. But everything has run like a dream. I have run out of battery whilst out, and it goes into what I would call splutter mode, get your home mode, where it does about 2 miles an hour. Do you know what? That's absolutely fine. I've realised very quickly that my head can't do more than 12 miles an hour. I just can't do it. I have done a ride of 10 miles in one stint, which was fantastic. Hello, good boy. That wasn't a steam train, it was him. He's having a great time. Oh, I was doing power rankings, wasn't I? Lights, I've not been out at night with them, but I have turned them on. They're great, no problem. Indicators, great, no problem. Wind guards for your knuckles, I call them wind guards, but obviously it's protecting against branches and stuff like that. They're fine, nothing wrong with them. Now I tightened them up properly and adjusted where they would connect on the handlebars. That's all fine. I had the tracking done by one of my kind neighbours. That made a huge difference to the stability of the quad. I had ridden quads years gone by as a child, but yeah, it's different. I'm used to riding motorbikes or driving big comfy cars, so getting used to the idea of the vehicle moving because of the road and reading the road surface more, all the stuff that if you've ever ridden a motorbike you should know already, and if you drive a car you should go and get a motorbike for 6 months and learn how to read the road. It does help. What else can I say? I'm trying to think. Oh, still no nipples. Range is okay, but I say I'm dealing with some steep hills. The battery won't last if you're flying around in the highest speed. It's not going to last. Come on, be realistic. It's no Duracell bunny. The things that I think aren't so great, which I'm going to mark down, is I have already asked if they can procure a coloured LCD display. Nothing wrong with that one. I just think it would look better. And also this vehicle has hazard warning lights. So here's our lights, our forward reverse indicators, and our tooty toot horn, which is a lovely little horn. But where's the hazard lights? It's got hazard lights. The problem is they're behind this. So the way that's built, the button that you need in an emergency is hidden under there. It's a minor thing, but would be nice. So I'm probably going to take the ECORIDER thing off it. I just kept it on there just to remind me what it's called, so I stopped calling it the Eco Mentalist. So that's a bit silly. I'd improved that. This little thing here is just a piece of plastic that sits in a hole. Provided you're not going upside down, that's not going to pop out, but it's not the end of the world. I can't get it out with my gloves on. Idiot. Anyway, difference. A real shame that those don't come with it. Would be great if it was four-wheel drive with a motor in each front wheel. I've got no criticism. I really haven't. This thing has just exceeded my expectations. They were low to start with, so that probably helps. But I'm just super happy with it. It really has changed my life. I've been very ill, and this has meant I've been able to go to the shops 3 times. Now, admittedly, I'm not very good. My body struggles and my brain struggles. But this has changed my life. If you're buying this to fly around and have fun and be stupid, you can do it. You can do it on this. But you're not going to be doing burnouts. You're not going to be drifting the back out. And it's not designed for that. So why would you buy this? I would go and buy one of their other machines. I really would. I would love to. If I could go faster and if I could handle it, I would buy a bigger machine. I just can't, unfortunately. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the seat. It's okay. I just don't think that's going to last. We'll see. And the other thing I have deep concerns about is the 3-pin charging port. I just got a feeling that's not going to last. At some point, I am going to take all this bodywork off. I'm going to strip it down, see what I can do to improve waterproofing around wires without affecting heat and cooling, etc. What I will say, if you need a mobility scooter and you live somewhere where there's a lot of bridle paths and farm tracks like that, and the hills are like that, this is perfect. It's been life-changing. And the best thing about it, I wanted this because I thought mobility scooters all look like, well, dog shit depressing was the term that I used. And they are. They're not pretty, they're not fun. I don't care what anyone says, they're really not. This, everyone that's seen it, everyone has said, wow, that's really cool. I want to have a go on that, or I want one. And even though it's a mobility scooter, they're like, yeah, it does what I wanted it to do, which was look like fun. Even if I'm only doing 7 miles an hour, it looks like fun. I do wear the helmet for a good reason, because I'm likely to fall off and I'm not going to be able to stop myself. Overall, it's a 10 out of 10. Yes, there was a couple of paint chips in the unboxing process, nothing major. Yes, it was not built, my problem, not a ECORIDER problem. Yeah, I'm missing the instructions. I will chase for that. I'm sure they're there. That's not an issue because it's running. I put it together. There's been no nasty little surprises. I do think the tyres are going to wear out very quickly. I don't like the 3-pin plug. I think the seat will wear out quickly. But touch wood, everything's been great. It's been worth every penny. I appreciate I've waffled a lot. I don't work for this company, although I have got design ideas for a quad that I want to build, and I will be buying the parts most likely from this company as well, because they've said, look, we can help you with that. That's a big deal. Yeah, it'll be expensive rather than sourcing myself. However, if it's a plug and play and I've just got to build a frame with some help from a grown-up, then I might be able to make something more beneficial to me for going off-road. That's if I can, but I'm not just thinking about me, I'm thinking about other people. I'm too young to be on one of these. I really am. It should be a fast quad bike belting around, but it's never going to happen now, and I know that. So sometimes you have to accept where you're going in life. That gate was closed, another one opened, and I found myself on a mobility scooter that looks cool as fuck, and my dad would have loved it.